We are live and welcome to the Own It Show. I am Heather Lee Chapman. I'm your high performance coach with a focus in business and wellness. And we are here today to talk about tips and tricks in owning your own business and being an entrepreneur. And I am here with the incredible Susanna, who is also a good friend of mine. We've studied together, and I will let her introduce herself and tell you all about her.
Hello, thank you for having me. So my name's Susanna Dreifelds, and I'm the owner of Peak Performance Coaching. And what we do is we help executives and entrepreneurs create their next level of success by really creating a strong mind, a healthy body, and incredible habits to take you to the next level.
I love that. So I love that we're so aligned with the healthy lifestyles and helping people truly own it through their performance by starting with them. I love that. So we're here today to actually talk about some business tips though. So obviously we help people take care of themselves, but we also run our own businesses. And we know for so many people, it can feel lonely, it can feel challenging. It's very different, right? That's why only 10% of the populations are entrepreneurs, because it requires a mindset and a vision and a community to really do that. And so we want to give you some tips and tricks today. And I'll actually let Susanna start first because I like her number one tip, and I think it's the number one to talk about.
Awesome. Well, thank you. One of the quickest things that helped me wrap my head around becoming an entrepreneur was that failure is really a natural part of your growth, and that there are things that I tried out that just didn't work, and then there are things that did work, but just accepting that, there's that quote, it's only failure if you quit. And so just knowing that, whatever mistakes you make along the way are there for you, and that they're going to help you because you'll learn from it and you'll grow from it and you'll just keep getting better and better. And the sooner you can accept it, it's just you'll just be able to ain't no thing. Next.
And what I love about that is it also helps you make decisions. So I always found, afraid to do something because of the failure, right? So you're like, oh, I don't want to hire that coach, or I don't want to do that program, or I don't want to date that person, or I don't want to join that gym because we're afraid that we'll fail. Well, if I join the gym, I just won't go, right? So why would I sign up? So we actually quit before we even get started because we're afraid of failure. So if we actually changed our mindset and said, hey, this is a growth opportunity, and I won't have it to look like my past experiences because I know that I'll grow through it, then people would actually start to, I'm going to call them risks, right? Take more risks, but it's actually take more opportunities. Mm-hmm. And speaking of opportunities, my number one tip is about having multiple streams of income. So what I think separates the majority of average of people to the people who truly have wealth success, because success is measured in all ways, but I mean wealth success, is through the multiple streams of income. So as we've learned that if you only have one stream of income and the entire economy and environment changes, that stream of income may no longer be value anymore, and only online might be. So we really want to make sure that we protect ourselves. So I just want to say, I was able to retire a six-figure business and still have a new six-figure business launch and have multiple streams of income and be okay through, the world's transition, because I was planning ahead and I had MSI. But if I did not, then I would perhaps have to go get a job, which might, for some people sound great, but that's not up my alley. I don't do well being told what to do. It's not for me. So I really want to challenge everyone to look at the streams of income they have and how can they increase more streams of income. So there's investments, there's affiliate marketing, there's referral bonuses, there's building your own online business, there's evergreen courses, there's so many different ways. You could even just pick your favorite coach and mentor and refer to them. You could pick your favorite products on Lead Funnel or Amazon and refer to them. There's so many different ways, but if we immediately shut off that the only way money can come to me is through my job, then we won't ever be open to the opportunity. So go and research today 10 ways that you can increase your streams of income. And that's my number one tip.
Yeah, and just to build on that, I find even if you start with the things that you love doing, like what are the things that you enjoy doing for free that you could turn into, a side hustle or a business, whether it's like for me, I love art and music, so like music lessons or art lessons, like those are open doors. And, when the world changed, I took that as an opportunity to make investments for the first time because stocks had plummeted, right? So it was really interesting. A personal goal of mine is how can I make money while I'm sleeping? And just allow myself to daydream, like, what are the different ways that that's actually possible? And when you open yourself up to that, it's amazing what you can come up with.
Right. But if we don't entertain the thought, we'll never look for it or come up with it. So I love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mhm.
And your number 2 tip.
Yeah,
Take
my
it away.
Yeah, my number 2 tip. This was one that took me a while, again, a little bit to wrap my head around, but just my number 2 tip is get, a coach or a mentor. Like whatever business you're in, whether it's your business or your relationship or your body, like if there's something you need support in, like get somebody to help you with it. And I really believe that you are fully capable of doing it on your own. But if you want to get there faster, it just helps to be with somebody who has already made it through the other side of whatever it is that you're going through.
And I love that. And one of my favorite books is The Art of Communication, The Power of Persuasion by Jim Rohn. And I think I listen to that book like twice a year for the last 6 to 8 years. And I just love it. And he talks about, why would you spend a decade trying to figure it out when you could read a book about someone who spent their entire life and learn all the mistakes of not to do, and how people don't ask the guy who screwed it all up, like, how did you screw it up? Right? We want to know what worked and what didn't work. And if you actually have a coach or a mentor, the thing about, having a coach or a mentor versus a book is it's live and ever evolving. Right. And we know how fast industries and everything are changing, right? Like we've done more in the last 10 years as a civilization than we have in the last 100 years. Yeah. So why having that coach and mentor is to help you evolve and grow with the times. And they've been there before, so they could guide you. You don't have to spend all that time figuring it out. And if you don't have to spend the time figuring out, you could actually take that time and put it into those income producing activities and actually be bringing in that income faster. Like you said, you're totally capable to do it on your own. And you could go 10 times faster if you have a coach or mentor. Which brings me to my second tip, which is working in or on the business, right? So one thing I find that a lot of entrepreneurs do is they get caught up on all the little things. Right? I've got to have this website done before I can launch my business. I've got to, have this Facebook group before I launch my business. I've got to do all these things. But the truth is, all you have to do is have a product or service and ask somebody to purchase it. You don't need a Facebook page. You don't need an Instagram page. You don't need to have a website. You don't need any of those things. You just need your product and service. So I had a 6-figure business that I run strictly on referrals for over a decade. Strictly on referrals. I never did any marketing. It was all word of mouth. And I'm talking top end, high end clients, entrepreneurs that own some of the biggest companies in Toronto and the GTA, and all word of mouth. So we're full of excuses and reasons of why we can't make a sale today. So I have a challenge for everyone to actually go and make a sale today and work in your business. I know we all know what to do. And we often will have this gap of doing it. And it's because of we don't believe maybe our product or service is ready or it's not good enough. But the truth is the fact that failure is a part of growth is the only way you're going to learn if it works or how to improve it is actually serve it to somebody and change it and deliver it. Right. So actually get out there today and make a sale and actually work in your business so that way you can learn from working with your current clients, and then you can up the prices. You can evolve the program, evolve your services, and just actually take action and work in the business today. Because well, if you don't actually work in the business, you don't have a business.
Yeah, That's such a great point, Heather. Some of the best advice I got was, when I first got into coaching, I wanted to design like the perfect program. And I didn't want to launch it until it was like absolutely perfect. And then I realized, well, what might be perfect up here isn't necessarily what people want. And you can spend years developing the perfect program, but until you put it out there and until you get that feedback, until you're really engaging with people, are you going to know if it's what people want? And time after time, you see coaches that have this like beautifully planned, business idea or program that they just haven't put out there. And it's like all of that time has been, I don't want to say wasted, because it's you've learned, you've grown, but it's not what your client or your customer wants. And you don't know what they want unless you're engaging and you're out there and you're like, as you said, like you're right in there with them.
And it's so true, because actually, when I first started 2 years ago thinking, okay, I'm going to start this online business, I've been saying for a decade, let's do this, like, let's launch it. One of the coaches had said, why don't you actually put out there on social media 3 of your, main focuses and ask your audience what they want. So I kept trying to launch gut health businesses. Like, obviously, I'm a nutritionist and I specialize with gut health and brain injuries. Which is exceptional, but that's not what my audience was looking for. They don't have gut health and brain injury issues. It turns out they all wanted mindset. And so I am a holistic practitioner and help people through all areas, with our main key focus is mindset. And that's when I saw the sales start coming in. But I actually asked my audience first. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah. And it's like one of those easy strategies. It's like, you want to deliver what somebody wants, you ask them what they want, and then you deliver it. People are like, that's amazing. You're like, because you told me. Yeah. And I listened. Yeah.
Exactly. I love, love, love that. Amazing. Take it away. And tip 3.
Yeah. Tip 3, and this was another big one for me, is like create some kind of system for accountability. Whether it's like a group or like a social co-working session, or anybody outside of like your like immediate relationship or like best friend. Like, really look to somebody that you admire, who does really well, and that that they follow through on everything, and just level yourself up, so that when they ask you if you did something, you are like, without a doubt, like, absolutely I did, because you don't want to tell that person, no, I didn't do it. Right. I find like I am like 10 times more likely to show up if I know that there's an accountability system in place. And let's face it, like, when you are an entrepreneur and you're running your own company, you're holding other people accountable, but there's not necessarily somebody holding you accountable. So it's really important to put some kind of system in place for yourself. Otherwise, you might let yourself slip a little. And when that happens, it has a ripple effect, right?
And how we do one thing is how we do everything. And I know that accountability is one of the biggest things. And so with working with brain injuries, we actually did trackers and accountability, and we did everything from every single activity that they did every single day, how much energy it required. We tracked it, and we figured out, these are the 10 best activities to do between this time and this time. Here's your rest time. Here's your everything. And they literally had to like fill out the calendar. Everything had different color highlights. They had to tally their point system for the day, and then show me like, hey, Heather, here's what I did, here's what I didn't do, and full accountability for that growth, so that we could slowly increase our tolerance and add more and more in. And that actually goes with you too, because if you're like, okay, here's my 10 tasks I have to do, I'm going to keep myself accountable. And when you have an accountability coach holding you to them, those become habits. Then maybe you don't need an accountability coach. Those are habits. And now you can pick 10 new habits that will up level your game. And then that's your new accountability. And so that's why I use a habit tracker. So I actually have my daily success habit tracker that goes from everything from my personal development to my movement, to my nutrition, to my business, to my finances, to every single action that I take throughout the day. And I track that. And that's a freebie that we give here in the Own It Empire community. So you can go to ownitempire.com and download that for free, and book a free strategy call with me, so that you can actually understand how to customize it for yourself. But with that being said, integrity is key. And we know that we will let ourselves off the hook We have integrity in almost every area of our life except to our goals. And I used to study in Landmark, and I was in an integrity seminar, and I literally had a coach call me out on that on a call, and how embarrassed I felt and mad, and I hated her for it for like a year. And then I realized she's absolutely right. She knows how big my dreams are. And I do everything for my clients and everything for my family and everything for everyone else. But my dreams are put on the back burner. So I need to have integrity to myself and my dreams and my goals and my actions and my habits and what I'm up to every single day. And I really just think that's so important. And is that not just the accountability, but the integrity to ourselves and our goals. And that will bring me to tip 3,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is, you go ahead. Anything to add to that? There's a leg. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, with just in the realm of integrity, it can work for you or against you, right? It can also be that tailwind, right? Like, if you're not doing the things that you say that you're gonna do, it can chip away at like how you relate to yourself and your level of discipline and what you can accomplish. But then when you start checking those things off, it like I said, it can be that wind that just like fuels you forward, and you're like, yes, I've got this. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And when you change that relationship, you can really see, the amount of action that you're in, and it can just really propel you forward.
I love
That's
that.
all I want to do.
It's true, though.
Yeah.
It does build your self-image. When you have integrity to your own goals and your own actions and you follow through on them, you build your self-image, and you know yourself as somebody who does what they say they're going to do. And I love that. Which brings us to tip number 3 for me: entrepreneurship and playing big. So what I find is, a lot of entrepreneurs say they don't want to work for someone else. They don't want to be told what they're worth. They want to create their own income. They want to create their own schedule. And they work so hard to build a business. But then what they actually did is build themselves a new job because they're too afraid to take their business to the next level. So you built yourself a store, and now you have to work at the store every day from 8 a.m. till midnight because you are afraid to hire somebody because you'd have to be spending more money. But what if you hired somebody, 2 people, to run the store for you, and you actually took your extra time now, which is probably more valuable, and you learned how to have another stream of income. And you actually were not afraid to evolve and grow yourself in your business. And a lot of people still build businesses as entrepreneurs, which is great for if that's where you want to be, absolutely, but it's still trading your time for money. So when we talk about building wealth and being an entrepreneur and actually having time and financial freedom, it's about having that multiple streams of income where they're not trading your time for money, because you only have so much time. So I used to have multiple streams of income that were all trading my time for money. I had 2 contracts and a business, and then I had 1 business that was not trading my time for money. But the other 3 things, other streams of income were. So I worked 70 plus hours a week. I literally saw clients all day and did paperwork all night because I was playing small. I was too afraid to take it to a group program online. And what I learned is if I didn't do that, it also capped my service. It also meant I could only serve so many people because I only had so much time in a day. Where I now have built this incredible online program where I can serve 1,000 people at one time, and it only takes 2 to 5 hours of my time a week. And if I decide next week we want to up that to 2,000, we can. And it only takes me 2 to 5 hours a week, right? So it's not just creating entrepreneurship and creating a business, but it's creating a business that will give you the lifestyle that you desire. So play big. Don't be afraid to, take it to the next level. Hire a team, hire coaches, hire employees, hire contract workers so that you can have more time back, so that you can then build more streams of income and actually build a business around your life and not your life around a business.
Yeah, that's such great advice, And we're creatures of habit, right? So if we're moving from a corporate job into entrepreneurship, I noticed that in the beginning, that's exactly what I did. I started creating, exactly that same mentality, and then, like not doing the things that I set out originally. Like I wanted to be an entrepreneur so I could spend more time with my family. And then I was, you get like pigeonholed into a way of being around a business. And as soon as I broke free of that, I was like, oh wait, I can go snowboarding. I can go snowboarding in the morning and come back, or I can do coaching calls mid snowboarding session and really still make a difference for somebody and have this life that I really want. But I had to break free of that mentality of like, this is the way something has to go, but really it's yours to create, and the bigger you spread your wings, the more service that you can provide, the more authenticity you can live with. It's just like, it's magic. It really can be a beautiful thing.
Yes, and entrepreneurship can be a beautiful thing, especially when you surround yourself with the right people who are also playing big in life, because you don't want to take advice from people you wouldn't trade spots with, right? I love that saying, and it just reminds me like an entrepreneur sees down the street and around the corner. They've got a vision. They're thinking 10 years from now. An employee thinks, I have a safe income that's coming in and what have you, which we've also learned is not true. It's not security. The only security is if you build yourself your multiple streams of income and time leverage and stop trading your time for money. So we want to see down the street and around the corner and have a big vision and see the long-term goal and keep our mind focused on that. And there's no failure along the way, right? As Susanna said, it's just growth, right? And then make sure you get that coach and mentor along the way and have that accountability so that you can build those multiple streams of income. And remember, we're taking action in our business today so we can all make a sale today. We don't need a website. We don't need all that crap we told ourselves. We just need to go and serve. So go serve somebody today. And remember to play big, learn how to leverage your time, and build a business around your life and not your life around your business, because it is totally possible to do and be and have what you desire. You just have to have your mind there and surround yourself with the right people. So thank you, Susanna, so much for joining us today. Anything you'd like to add, and let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at Peak Performance Tribe on Facebook. We've got a great Facebook group there. And then I'm Peak Life Coaching on Instagram. So come check me out. I'd love to talk to you. Anything in and around your health and up-leveling your performance, I got you back.
I love that. So just a reminder, everybody, we are back with the Bliss Bunny 5-day training on January 18th, which is how to master manifesting with your mindset, because you can create money through your mind. It is possible, but we will show you the way. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in here today. So we'll see you in the Own It community for Bliss Bunny. And thank you, Susanna. Those tips were exceptional. This is an incredible entrepreneur who has transformed her life. And I just thank you so much for sharing your tips and being with us today. May everyone have a blessed day, expect magic and miracles, and stay happy, healthy, and wealthy.